Yeah. Both sides. This is the first one that started. At least that's what it looks like to me. The one that started on that mountain, burned all the way across the backside, and is now made its way to where it is now. That's what it looks like from my angle. And actually, I think you might not be able to see it, but there's a helicopter right now up there. They've got these great big Chinook helicopters that have 2,600 gallon fire buckets that drop water on the fires. This started yesterday, actually. Yesterday afternoon, I was at work, and we just happened to look north and see another huge mushroom cloud. And of course, we're just like, fuck, not again. And then last night, I was actually just about to go to bed. It was about 10:30. And I went outside to have a cigarette and looked up and saw the entire top of that mountain was glowing orange. It was a pitch black night. There was no moon. So everything was black except for the top of that mountain, bright orange, and I could see flames, I could see trees burning. It looked like the flames had to be at least like 50 feet tall. And I was standing on the back deck just watching, and my phone rang, and it was my friend who said that he was rushing to that area because we have another friend there who was told to evacuate. And he's like, we need help. So I wound up jumping into our 1968 Ford and roaring down there to go help my friend get all of his valued possessions out of his home and evacuate. And I was down there from like 11 p.m. till 4 in the morning. And it was right about, well, it's kind of behind the shed there, but sort of in that area. Not up on the mountainside, but sort of down in the flats, where the flats meet the mountain. Right in that area, we were about, it looked like that fire was maybe 2 miles away, less than that. We could look up on the mountain and see trees burning, like, right there. It was freaking nuts. What? What are you making noise for? Are you hungry? Come here. There you go. Eat. Yeah. Just when we thought we were out of it, we're not. And there's a lot of homes in that area. Now the town of Florence is just down there. Florence is not a big town. I think maybe 700 people live here. But right now the town is on evacuation notice. They're not being told to evacuate, but they're being told to be ready to evacuate. Now the wind's picking up, which is not good for fire. So I'm driving home from work, and I pretty much live right under that. This sucks. You can actually see the flames now. And the huge mushroom cloud. I'll try to zoom in. Ooh. Doesn't focus very well. It's kind of dark, but yeah, you can see the fire for yourselves. Oh, wow. Oh. I don't really even have words for this anymore. I just have astonishment. What do you want, Katie? I'm making a video about the fires again. Jesus. I just pulled in, getting home from work. There's this huge piece of ash that came into my car window. It's from a tree. I mean, that's a piece of tree bark. Oh, fuck. It's really windy, so I have to do this through the window. I'm all stuffed up from the smoke. Okay, what happened today? Today, well, it's kind of hard to see out there, but today the fire spread from about that area on the mountain where it first started coming down into the valley, and it is now spread across to the front of that mountain. And when I was driving home from work, there was all kinds of bomber planes dropping that crazy red fire retardant onto not the fire itself, but kind of the surrounding areas. I think it somehow stops the fire from burning stuff if they drop it, that retardant on it. I don't really know. But the town of Florence is just over there. I've pointed that out before. I went to school there when I was a teenager. Florence is still a ways away, but as I've also pointed out, all throughout the foothills down there are homes. Now, Florence itself has actually been mostly evacuated, or at least on evacuation notice. And I believe it's from Tie Chute, which is kind of on the south end of Florence, all the way up to the county line, which is about 5 miles that way. Has all been evacuated. Like literally hundreds of homes have been evacuated, which is crazy. I mean, if you're watching this video and you're in a house right now, just turn around for a second. Take a look at all the stuff you have, right? You've got valuable things in your house. I mean, imagine just having to pack all that up, and you don't have long to do it. Some of these people had merely hours to go through their home. You'd have to go through your home, pack up the most important things, go out the door, and maybe when you come back, your house is not there anymore. That's what people here are going through right now. So that's what the fire's doing today. Like I said, they're dropping slurry on it, trying to stop it from spreading any further. But it's weird because I work down that way in Stevensville, and I work outside, so I've been watching this all day long. And we didn't hardly see any helicopters until we saw, I think, a couple around noon. Helicopters that carry those big fire buckets. We only saw a couple of those all day today. Right up until this whole thing started exploding in the afternoon, which was it was like 3 o'clock. Oh. Sorry about the shaky cam. I don't know. I don't know anymore, guys. I wish this was not reality, you know? One thing that has been kind of a blessing, if you could call it that. Oh shit. I told you it was windy out there. One thing that's kind of been a blessing, if you could call it that, is that this fire has not moved that quickly. It's just been sort of creeping down the mountainside into the valley, which is, I say it's kind of a blessing because it's given people time to evacuate and get their stuff out of their homes instead of just having to run out the door. You know what I mean? Instead of the fire just roaring down the mountainside, it's crept down the mountainside. So it's kind of a blessing that people have been able to evacuate safely. They've had the time to do that. As you can see from the windmill there, the wind is actually very strong right now, and it's pushing all of that smoke directly at me. Well, not me, but you know, my area, my side of this valley, which is a concern because that out there is a huge field full of incredibly dry grass. And I mean, I've showed you guys that it's been raining ash from the skies, and if some piece of ash were to fall down and, you know, still be glowing and on fire and land in that field, obviously that would be a huge problem. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but you can hear the sounds of the helicopters over there. course, you can't see much yet. Even these guys are nervous. They're acting nervous. They don't know what's wrong, but they know something's not right. But yeah, from the sounds of it, it sounds like the helicopters and the bomber planes are hitting that hard, so hopefully they can do some good. August 2017. Oh, look at that. We've got a Cadillac in the field. What the hell are you doing driving out there? What the fuck? Well, this is random. Round barrel number 3 and back through the finish line. We have a winner. Okay. It is 10:30 p.m. You're looking at, and I know you can't see it, but you're looking at the town of Florence right now. So, and then right about where that car is going by, straight above that, is the hillside where the fire was. Now, I mean, those planes and helicopters hit that thing so freaking hard. I don't want to say whether or not it's good news yet because I really can't see, but I'm not seeing any flames right now. I can see the stars in the sky, just a few, so I don't think the smoke is blocking my vision, but I'm not seeing any fire on the mountainside right now. I got these nice new work shoes. They're called Keen. It's a bird that burned in the fucking fire. It's a fucking dead bird that burned. Are you serious? Oh, look at you, little guy. You were totally a... This almost looks like a duck, I think, from the beak. Are you a duck? Oh my fucking god. It's... How the hell did it get here? Did it right up on the fucking plume of smoke, or? It's here in the almost the middle of the field. We just found, me and the dogs just found this. Wow! Fucking wow! It's supposed to be a solar eclipse. There's still a lot of smoke coming off the hill. And I can actually see a flame. I'll try to zoom in on it, but I don't think this camera's going to pick it up. All day yesterday I heard helicopters swarming around that hillside, and I still hear them today, so they're still working on it. It's gonna take some time because you don't just put a forest fire out. It's not that easy. You know, it's a forest. You've got trees, but under those trees are all kinds of grass and shrubs and leaves and pine needles and tree bark and just this whole layer of organic matter under the trees that will burn and actually will smolder for quite a while even after the flame itself is out, just because the ground got so hot. But that hill's still rolling smoke. As far as I know, though, that area down there where it first came up sort of over that spot, and then it kind of came down that way and down that way, then it started spreading there. This area looks to be under control, and I've actually heard that they're letting people back into that area, into their homes. They're trying. They are trying. But a forest fire is not an easy thing to fight, so we're still burning a little bit today. So I've been thinking about this a lot since yesterday, and I think what might have happened to my poor little duck friend is either Friday or, well, both Friday and Saturday, there was the huge mile-high column of smoke that came up in the afternoon as the fire, you know, exploded. It was calm in the mornings on those days, but in the afternoons it exploded. And I think what might have happened is my little friend might have been flying a little too close to the plume of smoke and sort of got sucked up into it, because, you know, it creates a vacuum as it goes up, sucks air, you know, the fire consumes air, so it sucked my little duck friend way up into the atmosphere, scalded it. And then on Saturday, the wind was blowing this way towards this property, this area, and I think my little duck friend might have gone way up into the atmosphere all scalded, and then just sort of drifted down and landed in the field. Of course, I'll never know just what happened to that poor little duck, but that's what I came up with. That's what I think might have happened. Oh, that poor little creature. There's a lot of poor little creatures lost their homes. I mean, that's not just some forest. That's an ecosystem full of animals and plants and all kinds of stuff that's been roasted alive, I'm sure. Sucks. So Tuesday evening it is right now. The sun just went down and it's hazy, very smoky, hard to see, but I don't see any huge plumes of smoke coming off of anything. When I was driving home from work today, I got a sort of a good look at the mountainside, and the whole thing was dotted with small plumes of smoke coming up because the whole mountainside is smoldering. But I don't see any big blow up currently going on. I do think I see a little bit of smoke right in that area, maybe some up on that hill. But it's not erupting right now this moment, which is awesome. Last night that whole hillside was dotted with little dots of orange. It wasn't erupting, or the whole hill was not glowing orange, the whole mountain I should say, but there was little dots of orange all over it, which is crazy because starting about Saturday afternoon they dumped water on that for a day and a half. Really heavily dumped water on it for a day and a half, and then Monday and today they've been dumping water on it sporadically. And last night the wind came up and that sucker started taking off again, as you guys saw. I mean, they keep trying to kill this dragon, but it just keeps living. But for the moment it looks like things are a little more under control. And that's what's going on Tuesday. I tried to get some footage of the orange hillside last night, but this camera is not very good for night filming. Anyways, that's what's going on today. Uh-oh. You took your stick, man. You're not going to stand for that, are you? Smoke, fire, helicopters. Business as usual today. Nothing much to show. There's still smoke coming off the top of that one and the top of that one, even though it's really hard to see. But tonight and tomorrow we're supposed to get pretty windy, which is a little bit scary. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm noticing that it's coming from the top, not down here where it was last time. So at least it's up high, away from the people. But there is a bit of a smoke plume coming off of it. So basically tonight a thunderstorm is going to come through here. That's what they're saying. That's what they've been saying on the radio all day. The trouble is, according to the windmill, it's coming from the south, which I don't think is a good thing. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell, but south of here is nothing but dry land. And I don't want thunderstorms that are coming from dry land. If we get a thunderstorm, I want it to come from the west, because the west is where the ocean is, and we need water here. That's what we need more than anything. I'm seeing a flame on the mountainside again. I don't think we've had rain in 6 weeks now. Maybe longer than that. Montana needs rain. not dry thunderstorms, which are nothing but clouds and lightning and thunder. And wind, which fans fire. This is Wednesday. So smoky right now, I can look right at the sun without hurting my eyes. This is insane. Thursday night. It's Thursday night. And I didn't really make many videos today because really nothing happened with the fires. They didn't explode, which is awesome. We actually got some rain early in the afternoon. It rained for probably about half an hour, and it actually rained pretty good. I'd say maybe 20 minutes after it stopped raining, the rain was completely dried up. It soaked into the ground that fast because this place has not had hardly a drop in a month and a half. But we got rain today, which is good. It seems that this fire episode for the moment has kind of wound down thanks to the literal army of people who descended upon this place to battle that fire. Hundreds of people came here from all different parts of the USA. I was seeing trucks with fire crews driving around, and the trucks had, names and places of the fire crews on the side of them. And I saw, one I saw was Colorado. I mean, people came from all over the place to come and battle this fire that was about to take the town of Florence out. So I want to say thank you to everyone who helped to fight this fire. Of course, that hillside is still smoldering a bit. I don't see any orange up there at all, anywhere. But it's, fires don't just go out right away. They will smolder for a while. So it could take off again, but I don't think it will. Now that I'm looking, I might see maybe 2 little orange dots. But yeah, things seem to have calmed down, so I think I'm going to stop making little films about this fire. I've been making regular YouTube videos for, I think, about 2 years now. I've always done videos about either games or music. I've never made videos about my real life. The main reason for that is because I live in a small town in Montana and there's not much that goes on here, but this week I've been through, well, just this week is what you've seen in the video. It's actually been 4 weeks because we had all the earlier fires going back when there was 6 of them going at once. And I made a couple videos about that too. They're on the channel. But this fire episode of my life, I've just felt the need to document this because it's been one of the most insane freaking things I've ever seen. I'm not really sure what else to say. Oh, one thing I can say, as of right now, 2 homes were lost. There were a few injuries among the firefighters. I heard about a broken arm. Someone had a broken arm. But no human lives lost. Nobody died. So that is a blessing. Yeah, I think I'll just end the video at this point. I'm not really sure what else to say, so I guess I'll catch you on the flip side.